finally, we get the new Apex Legends Season 11, which I've been very excited for. EA actually invited me to play the update early, and I've got everything covered for you. Over the next few days, I have different videos highlighting different topics, so make sure you check back for more. This update brings a bunch of new things. You have the awesome legend Ash, you have the incredibly well-made map Storm Point, the new flexible SMG, the C.A.R, but in my honest opinion, the map is the strong highlight. I'll keep it honest with you guys, I cried a little bit when I had to go back to Season 10 after I played Season 11. I'm going to be breaking down the video into chapters, so if you want to jump between specific parts, whether you want to know about the map, the legend, by all means click ahead. The first thing we will talk about is Ash, the new legend to join the games. She's an insanely aggressive legend who is really fun to play. She's insanely good at closing the gap. You guys thought Octane and Rev were a strong couple? You wait until they're joined by Ash. In terms of the meta, I think she's really strong. I don't think she's as OP as C.A.R was, but definitely not as OP as Horizon was. Her passive is the one thing I can see being changed if the community take a strong dislike to it. When using a death box, it pings the enemies, like when you ping a location on the map, for example, and tells you how many legends are left of that squad. So now, imagine getting rushed by Octane, Revenant, and also Ash. Very, very scary, I know. Her ultimate is similar to Race, but you can't return after going through. And you can go a lot further, and the ultimate only takes 1 second to set up. So you've got a much gap closer than Wraith, I would say, but you can do it a lot quicker. You can get to the vantage point a lot more quicker than Wraith can, but you don't have Wraith's passive, which I think is going to keep Wraith still as popular as she is now. But you can't go back through it, so once you jump through the portal, you can't come back. I don't think this will disregard Wraith, but I do reckon a lot of people will transition from Wraith to Ash, due to not only her ultimate, but her tactical. So you throw out a circle of electricity, and if it connects with an enemy, it will lock them in place. If one or more people go in there, all the people in that circle will get locked to one place, and you will get beamed down by the Ash or her teammates. Now, this goes pretty slowly, so if you keep your distance with an Ash, you won't have too much of a problem. It does go quite slow as it travels. But you can still move around. It's not a slow or a stun. You just get stuck in one position, but you can still operate. You can still use your abilities, healing, shooting, etc. Next up, we have the map. The one thing that I just cannot wait to play. I can say with utmost certainty that this is the best map they have ever made. It is a large map. It's about 15% bigger than World's Edge. It looks like it was inspired heavily by the likes of Valhalla in Halo. It does actually look like a map straight out of Halo. The point of interest are incredibly interesting. The high mountains, the cliffs, the bunkers, all of it is so exciting for the game, as there are a load of choke points, but I never felt like I got stuck. Instead of loads of jump towers, we now have gravity cannons. Again, very similar to the Halo man cannons, if you remember those. They launch you across the map, which are not just a great way to escape, but also a way to third party another team should you want to do so. So it'll be interesting to see these in action and in competitive Apex. We do also have now the Apex world's longest zip line. It kind of made me feel a bit sick going up.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, this is making me feel a bit funny. Bloody no, that's a high zip line.
The map also has prowlers and spiders. The prowlers will attack you if you enter their space, but the spiders will only attack if you shoot the eggs. So if you're an arachnophobic like me, I hate spiders. They're not actually that bad, but they don't actually just roam around and kill you. But the prowlers will attack you if you enter their little space. Now, you do get an Evo shield. It's not a lot, so you can't exactly farm them, but you do get Evo damage to contribute towards your red Evo. But you do actually get some pretty good loot. I was surprised by the loot that you get. If you kill them with, say, an R301, you will get light ammo and light gun attachments, and the exact same with a sniper or flatline, for example. However, you do run the risk of being hunted down by enemy players. If you hear shooting, normally people gravitate to that. The point of interest are really good. A lot of levels in buildings, so Watson with a new buff will be a great pickup here. To finalize, the map is incredible, and I've been so excited to play it, and I can't wait to see how it transitions to the public servers. Next up, we have the C.A.R. I won't go too much into this, as I'm only a hard stuck diamond player, so there will be people that know the recoil patterns and the best ways to use it, so I'll give you the basic knowledge about it. The new weapon is super cool. It uses both light and heavy ammo. with damage being dealt respectively. You can use light mags, heavy mags, they're interchangeable, and it's a pretty good gun in terms of damage. If I'm honest, it might just be me, but I struggle to use it in medium range. As I said, I'm a Half-Like Diamond. I use strictly the Flatline and the Eva, although the Eva has now been absolutely nerfed. However, I found it's a great gun close range because of the option to change between the ammo. So, for example, if you're in the final circle, you're not going to struggle finding ammo because people either run light or heavy, so you can always find the ammo. But it also means that you can give ammo to your teammates. So say, for example, your two teammates are running heavy ammo guns, you can just switch from heavy to light and drop your heavy ammo for them. I think it's a really great addition to the Apex Legends gun lineup. When the developers were talking, they mentioned that they had the C.A.R, but they wanted to make it unique because you already had the Volt, you already had the R99. They wanted something that made the gun a little bit more unique. So bear that in mind when they start thinking about new guns. They're going to be trying to give it a little bit of a twist. For example, the Sentinel with the shield battery charge. Now, some other things that were mentioned during the developer talks. They finally answered the questions about Titans. In a talk, they mentioned that they have tried them and can't find a way to balance them, but they do like the idea. So we could potentially see them in the future, but not anytime soon. The question was, the new huge map, was it made for Titans? And they said no. We have the G7, which in my opinion is the worst gun in the game, moving to the C.A.R package, and the triple take moving out of it. And I will say now, the triple take is the most overpowered gun in the game right now. It is also an energy weapon, but it is very overpowered. Wattson now has her buff. Her ultimate can charge a Red Evo shield from empty within 20 seconds. They were going to go for a Wattson backpack, but they chose not to, purely because of the mobility that she provided. It would have been a bit too crazy. Now, I still don't see this making any big changes to Wattson, because you'll still be camping to a degree, and the map was made to choke points to navigate through different buildings. So camping's not going to be your best friend on this map. And lastly, everyone, including myself, gets so angry at World's Edge. It was the best map in my opinion, but they ruined it by completely destroying it. Instead of adding buildings like they used to do, they just started destroying it across the map. And the same could be said for something like Kings Canyon. Skulltown, no more, for example. But do you remember when they added the Octane Arena? That was incredibly fun because it was a very empty part of the map, but they built on it. Now, they have said that this map was built with changes in mind. So they're not going to be destroying things like in World's Edge. They're going to be adding stuff to it. Now, I'll be covering everything to do with Apex Season 11. I have a ton of produced videos from the event, so stay tuned.